National Signing Day is coming up. It's bowl season. People hit the portal, and now we're still looking for a coach. This shit got to stop. It got to damn stop. But I'm just hoping at the end of the day that this is gonna come together in some form of fashion. I do like our running game. I like all our running backs, and I feel like the offensive line do a better job as a unit in the run blocking game. Maybe they don't have the depth to be as consistent in the run game, but I would like the run game to be our staple, and then for us to go play action pass off of that. I feel like at some point we're going so much pass that we almost get away from the run and switching up the running backs and giving opportunities to show different styles of play with the running backs that we do have on the roster.
I just think it needs to be when you get into these situations that, passing wasn't working. I get trying to get him in some rhythm. Running was working for you.
Yep.
Just keep pounding the ball because it's one of those things that's like, I know you want to try to get chunk plays. You want this, you want to move quick or whatever, but Quentin Jackson's getting 10 to 12 yards, 10 to 15 yards. So it's, getting a 20-yard pass every, 5 or 6 plays. I don't know. I just look at it like I don't feel like the game was called very well offensively.
Gotcha. Now, at some point, people said Bobby Petrino was a savior. He was going to save the program, bring them back to prosperity. And now we already shitting on Bobby. I don't know what's going on.
I don't think it's shitting on Bobby.
Not you. Not you. I'm just saying, like, I've seen comments where people say, well, Bobby Petrino is going to bring us back. He should be the head coach and just fire Pittman now. Yeah, we heard all those comments, and it's like, we're back at the point. This is where it sounds real familiar to me. A couple things sound real familiar to me. Hear me out, Matt, on this. You got a junior quarterback, we consider a veteran at this point, who still has accuracy issues on short and intermediate throws. His best asset is the deep ball and make plays with his legs. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? We also talking about an offensive coordinator who has ran up the score at other establishments. Now has come to Arkansas, and for some reason he gets in the red zone and gets cute. Sound familiar? It sound, what's my guy name? What's my guy? TCU.
Kendall Browse.
People got so mad at Browse. You get in the red zone and you get cute. Just run the damn ball and let the guy score. Then you got a running back. We've seen KJ do this year after year. This dude is leading in every statistical category quarterbacks for Arkansas. And we still got a quarterback who can make plays with his legs, but somehow is missing these short to intermediate throws that can continue to move the chains. It's a consistent problem with a different personnel. And it just seems like something needs to be done. Something needs to be done. And like I said last week, I'm not saying do a quarterback change. I don't need a quarterback controversy. I would like to see a package. I just want to see a package. That's all I'm asking. I don't think.
Where's the button?
I was waiting for you to hit it.
I would like Singleton to have a particular set of plays in the game where he can use his ability to make plays with his arm and his legs in order for us to be successful, keep the defense off balance, and things of that nature, as people would say. I'm going to hit Ryan comment real quick. Ryan said, why is it that when players do nothing, they still celebrate? Example, Jaheim Singletary celebrated because of a bad throw by UAB quarterback, and he actually was brought on that play. Lock him down.
There was a couple spots towards the end of the game, I guess the end of the game, that the defensive players were doing stuff like that, and I was just sitting here thinking in my head, like, what are y'all happy about right now? Like, what are you getting? What do you have to get hyped about right now?
Yeah, do that shit against Ole Miss. Do it against Texas. Then I'll listen. I'll listen. But to us as fans, we feel like you're supposed to do what you're doing right now. You're supposed to shut these guys down, and it's not even happening. Ellis 1722. He says he liked that hat you got on there, Matt.
Appreciate
Where did that hat come from again? You get him a shout out.
It was given.
You went blank. Okay,
it was given to me, so I
Pig's brand.
Yeah, it's Pig's brand. I need to reach out to their owner, see if we can get him.
Yeah. Hell, be a sponsor. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Justin say they got to learn that having these slow starts are going to snake bite them in the SEC play. Absolutely. Starting the game off slow, not being consistent, not putting together plays, stacking plays, and having drives like we seen UAB do against us is definitely going to hurt us. You definitely got to get some guys in there. It's Satania, is he hurt?
Mm.
I
That I
didn't
know
think
of.
so. So
No.
I'm trying to figure out why he wasn't targeted more.
I mean, I feel like he was green. When I say he, I mean he was trying to get Broden involved, wasn't happening, and then I felt like he just went to Armstrong every
Armstrong,
time. And going back, has had one target. He didn't have a catch.
Okay,
gotcha.
that's what it was.
So
Okay.
there was only 3 players that caught a pass.
Did you just hear what you just said? This is not old Georgia Tech. This is not old Nebraska. This is not Army, Navy. We throw the ball. So you mean to tell me you only had 3 players?
You went from 15 game 1 to 3.
Mm.
Yep.
And we also had the advantage against Oklahoma State in regards to total yards offensively and still lost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I almost
I'm just
300. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm trying to figure out who we are, to be honest with you, while I make
I
those
really need
comments.
Denny Green on this soundboard.
I have it on my phone. I should have sent it to you.
They are who we thought
They were
they
who we
were.
thought they were. Yeah.
Yeah. William Brown. Once again, I want to get to your rants. I definitely want you to be heard, sir. So if you got something to say, definitely drop it in there. Brad, out of the last 8 quarters, we played 2 of them that were good. No lies being told. No lies being told. Y'all said Jaden Wilson got kicked out of the team because he couldn't catch. Broden can't really either. No, Ryan, you're not lying. You're
That's
not
what I
lying at
was
all.
saying earlier. Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
meaning.
If I'm pulling scholarships, William Brown said, I'm pulling scholarships for play. Landon Jackson, bye. I'm assuming he's saying Broden, bye. I was there Saturday. Broden effort was awful. Absolutely. His body language told a whole lot in regards to his style of play. He's just like, oh well, like you didn't throw it right to my hands. And he just wasn't trying to go get it. He was just trying to, I don't know what the hell he was trying to do, but he wasn't putting forth the effort that we expect from those guys. Clearly, Andrew Armstrong is our number 1 receiver. No mistakes there, right? To
Mm-hmm.
me, Broden, you turn him into a monk. Goal line, no. Marcus Monk,
Oh, okay.
goal line, yeah. Goal line, jump balls. That's your thing. Other than that, we're not throwing to your asses. You're going to drop the ball, sir. We'll go to these little speedy receivers and let them catch it on the run and let them make plays and get yacked. So I'm sure Bob Petrino will figure it out. Or somebody going to get cussed out at practice, one of the two. So it'll be interesting to see what this looks like going forward. But William, I will say this: you said Landon Jackson bye. I'm trying to figure out if anybody got a milk carton with Landon Jackson face on it because I ain't seen him do shit to be a first round pick at this point, and I'm eager to see what it looks like. We do know the same way people was on Hudson Clark, that Ole Miss game. That's his coming out party, but that was it
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, right? And that's my guy. At the same time, I'm looking like Landon Jackson whooped up on Alabama against a freshman, and that was it. We haven't seen him just be a wrecking ball and just dominate a game. So that's the part I think we all looking for because of the hype that was all talked about him. So who knows what it is? Arkansas needs a 2 QB system right now. Thank you, William Brown. This is part of William Brown rants. He's definitely going off. I definitely agree with that. Derek Covington Green is a train wreck waiting to happen. We got to be patient with him. We got to, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Regardless of how you feel, once again, I would love to hear how you guys feel in these comments. Keep them coming because I'm gonna keep talking about it. And I want you to say what you have to say now, because once you start SEC play next week, and we look like we did this week, the feeling's gonna be really hurt next week. We upset and we won. We outperformed against Oklahoma State, made mistakes and lost. And now we're going to go play Auburn at Auburn in Jordan-Hare Stadium, who will actually have a packed house stadium with a freshman quarterback. That's going to hurt if you lose that game. And I just don't know at this point what I've seen from the secondary this past week. I'm nervous. Is it time to worry? I think it may be time to worry going into next week. Um, Yep, you said that about Armstrong William. Didn't Pivot pay Broden to come back? That's why he was in the game. Yeah. Fields. I really didn't even hear Isaiah. That's what I'm saying. I don't know where he was at. I don't know where he was at. I don't know what the issue is. But Coach Pittman, if you understand the severity of what's going on right now, you got to play every damn body on the roster, sir. Anybody who decides to come back, you got to play them.
Hey, we know
Logan,
how the first call usually works. So,
Uh-oh.
uh-oh.
hang on.
Logan gonna say what he gonna say, so I'll read Williams' comment. So it's
Hello.
Hey, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
First
Can you hear me?
time.
Awesome,
What is
awesome.
Wow.
That's what's up.
All right, Logan. So, thoughts on yesterday?
Yesterday was what I've been saying all year last year and all year this year, and I'll continue to highlight it. Arkansas has no idea who they are because their coach has no idea who he is in that position. He was never supposed to be there. Appreciate you getting us through what you got us through. That 9-4 should have been it because that was the highlight. We have no culture. We play undisciplined ball. The reason for that, we got a soft coach. You know, and at the end of the day, Pittman's a great man. Great man. And I'll continue to say that because I know he's probably listening. You're a great man, Coach Pittman, but you're a better offensive line coach than you are a head coach. And Arkansas can be better. We deserve better. And the more this happens, the more you're going to lose fans. Because at the end of the day, we're fed up. I'm fed up. I know I am. I'm a couch coach, what everybody say. I had a few people comment the other day, you're a couch coach, shut up. Let me tell you something, brother. All you got to do is turn on tape. Bro,
Say film don't lie. Film don't lie. Yeah.
You know, Taylor Green out there, scared as hell. Eyes wide open. You got zone. Play zone, you beat Arkansas. Pretty simple. He can't beat you with your legs all season.
Yeah.
And we get in the SEC play, we're going to get creamed. So.
As you hold on, Logan, don't get off. When my guys just hit me in the post, can y'all see me? No.
Nope.
No.
Okay, cool. Doesn't matter. All right. Bob Petrino said he can. He said my guy said Bob Petrino can only coach offense. His defense will always suspect. Great point. That's my brother J.E. He down in Dallas, Texas. Logan, my guy Justin said you speaking facts, bro.
I mean, it's not hard. If you like football and you just pay attention to it, the game is kind of easy. Yes, I know we ain't out there calling the plays, making the plays. My deal is when a player does something boneheaded, that's on the player. But what I tell y'all week one after UAPB, what I write in the comments, I said, if those receivers would have caught what their quarterback was throwing, our DBs would have been talked about. But because they kept dropping passes, they weren't. And I hit on it last week too. Our DBs are trash. We have no defensive line pressure.
Yeah.
We're going to get burnt. And I love it. Like I said, Adam said 3-9. I was optimistic. I was like, nah, man, we get 5-7. Nah, I don't trust this team. I've never trusted that coach. Get him out of here and go pay somebody. Pay somebody. Because I can't even trust Travis at this point. I mean, he will. That's my guy, too. You know I've been calling for him to be head coach.
Facts.
I don't know.
Yeah.
As
Definitely
always,
suspect.
we appreciate you, Logan.
Yeah, thanks, Logan.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all keep doing your thing. Much love.
Thank you.
Already
Yes, sir.
appreciate it, bro. Yep. Yeah, shout out to Logan for those comments, man. Keeping it 100 and giving him his spiel, man, about how he feels.
Well, and I'll
Definitely
say about
appreciate it.
his post yesterday. I mean, it's one of those things that he posted what he saw from that game. It wasn't coming after folks. It wasn't that. And so then immediately it's find a new team. Immediately it's who are you coaching? Immediately it's this, that, and the other. It's like
You're not a real friend, a real fan.
Not a real fan.
Yeah,
and I said this on Hog Talk, but it's one of those things that like you're entitled to your opinion. You back it up with facts. That's perfectly fine. What's any different from you critiquing something going on in your city. What's you critiquing the high school team? You critiquing a newscast? You critiquing this, that, and the other? It doesn't matter. You can do it on your Facebook page all you want, but y'all get mad when somebody does it in a group of Hog fans because they're looked at like they're not as big of a Hog fans because they're criticizing them.
Yeah, that's sunshine and rainbows and Skittle shit. That shit out the window at the end of the day. Hey, my boy Jay said, "Damn, pay somebody. I got some allies." Hey man, I definitely understand that. My guy been saying that for the longest. You gotta back the bus up. I'm sorry, my hands in the way. You gotta back the bus up and go ahead and pay somebody.
Well,
Come on.
yeah, you do, but here's the thing: they got to want to come here too.
Yep.
I mean, think of all the coaches that have told us no, and there's even been anonymous coaches in the past reported saying I wouldn't uh, crawl to Arkansas or whatever. Well, just something. I wouldn't go there for nothing. Basically, is what it meant.
Right.
And we've had people say that, and Pittman was number, I don't know, 8 on our list of who we wanted.
Correct.
And it took the players, ex-players, lobbying and writing letters to get him the job. So we need to be realistic, acting like we can just go get whoever we want. We just need the money. Yes, money does talk, but they got to want to come here, and they got to know the situation they're coming into, which is you're going to be facing Texas, Georgia, Alabama, LSU, A&M, Auburn, Ole Miss, Florida, all the Kentucky, all these other schools. We're going to be facing going up against them. It's not like we're going to be in the Big 12 like all these people keep saying they want us to play lesser conferences. We got to go against the big dogs, which means you got to find the right type of person with the right mindset that wants to take on that type of challenge and compete with those types of people instead of
Let
just
me
coming here to get a paycheck.
right. So let me chime in on 2 comments. I think it was Robert Smith. Um, Yeah, Robert Smith, Tyson Walmart, Jerry Jones, why no bigger NIL stuff. Also, let me tie that into Jay Johnson question. Has there ever been a top tier, high profile coach that wanted to come here?
Exactly. I mean,
Hell no.
the
That's the
one,
answer, is what I'm saying.
well, let's think about it. You could say Brett Bielema technically was kind of in that category.
Okay,
Um,
so if we doing tiers, we know that Saban and at one point Dabo was up there. Bobby Bowden, up there, right? Championship guys,
mhm.
multiple years. Mac Brown at one point, right? Brett Bielema will probably be third tier in that regard.
Yeah,
Elite,
in that regard.
good ones. Like even Mark Rick was a good coach, right? But he just couldn't get over the top. So,
I mean,
but I get
Danny
what you're saying.
Ford, Danny Ford, Lou Holtz. I
But
mean,
I don't know at that time if people wanted to be here. I think they got here and
right.
they did a great job with what they had. So as far as us,
Hmm.
like we said this before, we talked about the Lane Kiffin situation. We had him, and in the midnight hour, all of a sudden he decides, him and his agent have a discussion. Arkansas says we're not going to counter pursue it. You can go ahead and go to Ole Miss. Well, Ole Miss doing a hell of a job. And Lane Kiffin has something to prove every single year. Yes, he has his antics and whatnot. But at the end of the day, you cannot continue to be moral university, moral victory university, and keep having these seasons where you're not in the big boy postseason play. So at some point we got to get out of
Hmm.
our own way. And we talked about coaches that want to come here. Whoever wants to write these checks, they gotta like the coach. So I don't give a damn if we like them or not. If the people who cut the checks like them, that's all that matters to me. That means that we will have the NIL. Man, please, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. That's
What?
cold blooded.
Huh? I was bored yesterday.
This dude right here, man. Oh,
There's a bigger picture. Of
this dude
course,
right here.
I think he's a little bit older now, but
Wouldn't give a damn. I'd take him as an old man. I'd take him as a.
Uh,
My guy said 15 million for saving a year. Hell yeah, I'd do it. Do you know what type of man? Look, 15 million for saving, I'd do it. I think at one point he talked about who was that? Bobby Bowden, not Bobby Bowden. What's the dude's name from OU? Was it Swisher?
Brent
Brent Swisher?
Venables or
Hell no.
Stoops.
Stoops, that's who it was. My guy was saying you got to give Stoops over 10 mil, like a couple years after he had left.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
he
it
ain't
was
coming
Stoops.
back.
No. He didn't come back at this point.
So, what do y'all concerns for Auburn?
I gotta agree with some of the comments. Defensive line not getting pressure. Offensive line, consistency in pass blocking, and Taylor Green not getting in his own way. Not getting in his own way, sir. If you're gonna not read, if you're not gonna do the pre-snap read properly, because I'm sitting on the couch and I can see the damn blitz coming off your left side. So if you're not gonna do that, just know that once your first read is not there, just take off. You don't have the time or the luxury to sit in the pocket and wait for your second and third option. If you don't see your first guy, and that's what you looking at your first read, if you don't see him, go ahead and make that move and go ahead and run. Because your best asset is your legs at this point. Hart, what you got?
Well, I agree with you wholeheartedly on the offensive line pass blocking. Run blocking's been improved drastically from what it was last year. They need to make sure they use the right technique. I got on to Maddox a little bit because I wanted him to be a little better. And I'll say the same about Marion Harris. The sack he gave up, he was standing straight up and got drove right back into Taylor Green until the D tackle finally just grabbed him and got him down. So they just got to make sure they got good leverage and squat down. If you stand up and chest bump, you're just going to get drove right by because you don't know where the quarterback is and the D lineman sees him. As far as what I thought originally before the season, I thought that the linebackers could be the bright spot on the defense, and so far they have been. Even though they were somewhat of an unknown because they're both newcomers, pretty much to a degree. Secondary has got to step up. They got to keep everything in front of them and make good tackles. Johnson did stick his head in there and make some tackles, and I thought of you each time I saw him. But as far, like you said, Taylor Green needs to be more accurate, needs to get better with his fundamentals on his passing, his footwork, his arm angle, get through his progressions early. So I'm kind of echoing a lot of what you said, to be honest. We got to target Hogs, I always butcher his name. We got to target him more. Make sure we got to get healthy as well, which sucks because we're starting the conference season. We got a lot of people starting to get nicked up. So that and Armstrong, bro. Glad you came here, and I'm glad you were stepping up and doing it. And I think that dude's gonna make some money on Sundays. I'm not saying he's gonna be a top draft pick or anything, but I could see him earning his way on the roster and getting some playing time just because he gets open and he catches the ball.
Real quick before you go into it, Adam, you know we got to get a first lady, a Hog HQ. That's Miss Teresa with the comment. We can't have a show without a Miss Teresa comment. She said, "Why not have a 2 QB set to keep the opponents guessing?" I do like using the big fullback though on short yardage. It isn't over. She says she's hoping for redemption. So it's a lot of people on the board with you with that. I think we all feel like we got an opportunity to do something different. As of right now, Miss Teresa is so wishy-washy, if you will, with what we see week to week. We don't know what the hell we're looking at. We don't know what's next. We don't know how we'll roll out the ball and show up. And we also don't know who we're playing against and what opportunities we see week to week. Ryan, I'm actually good friends with Marcus Monk. He lived about 45 minutes away. Mr. Teresa said is underutilized. Afraid he may hit the portal. And I'm worried about Satania. Once again, if it all goes to shit, Pittman is gone, and we're starting over again from scratch, which I hate because I hate us starting over. And I think at this point, Hunter Yurchek and the other people who write the checks, they know what they have to do at this point. And like I said, if I don't know if Florida State will keep Norvell no matter what their season looks like, rightfully so because the season they had last year. Florida, that's a different story. And other schools who may be able to cut bait with who they have at the head of their staff, at the head of their team. Well, Arkansas just can't be last to the party. You can't show up late to the party empty-handed. So if they're going to make a change at some point, they need to figure that shit out. And I don't care nothing about finishing the season. If he ain't it, he ain't it. If he is it and you got hope that we can make it, then let's roll with it, roll out all the dice and just make it happen. Stephen Keel says, stop Auburn run game and make them beat you passing the ball. And I'm scared of that too. Auburn secondary is cheeks. That's what's up. So was ours looking at yesterday.
And I think we
Um,
can stop the running game. I mean, we've
okay.
done decently against. I mean, look what we did with Ollie Gordon. We're doing well. I think that's part of what the
Great
defensive
point.
line is. They're playing gap. They're being gap sound. I think trying to prevent open up
Big
running
run.
lanes for the
Uh-huh.
quarterback or for the running back. So I think that's part of it. But yes, on passing downs, they do need to get to them, go all out. But there's a technique to that, because if you just run all out, you do open up the running lane, like I just said. And also offensive have had a lot of quick passing games against us too to prevent that.
The interesting thing to me is you made a great point about Ollie Gordon and shutting him down in the Oklahoma State game. So I do like the defense line in regards to run stopping. In regards to straight pass rushers, I remember they talked about in the offseason about they have a package where they have all defensive ends along the front line. I haven't seen it yet. And at this point, if you're going to keep sending four dudes to get to the quarterback and nobody ever gets to the damn quarterback, then go to the Barry Odom system that we hated and just rush three and just put an extra dude back there in the
Mm-hmm.
secondary and be able to stand in that little soft spot that quarterbacks usually dump to. So I don't know what the answer is. Like I said, we don't get paid the big bucks to make these decisions, but as fans, we see what we see and shit. Film don't lie at the end of the day, right? Brian, I'm gonna get you in a minute, Adam. Brian, the problem is we get who we can and keep falling further down deserve the desired
Desired.
jobs list. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Money is the issue. Pittman is paying guys that shouldn't be getting paid near what they're getting paid. That's why the play time is the way it is. We legit have guys do nothing making bank. We need to hire someone to overlook everything NIL and not Sam Pittman. I think
They're
there
not
is
supposed
somebody
to
out there.
have they
Yeah,
they they have people that can talk to the players about, with the collective and how to work deals and whatnot. And yes, we know that coaches know about the stuff, probably offer their stuff. It's not supposed to be talked about. It's not supposed to be whatever. But at the same time, you can't just say like Pittman needs to be in control of who gets the money,
Right.
because from the NCAA standpoint, no, he's not. He's
It,
not supposed to have a say in anything. He's not supposed to basically know about it.
Right.
or mention, yeah, exactly. You can't really mention any of the money or any of that stuff. So that kind of goes out the window on that.
And
That
sadly, we live in this day that you piss off a player, what are they going to do? It's going to
Rat
get
you out.
leaked that the coach is
Yeah.
doing this, that, and the other.
yeah, he's already got paid. Screw you.
Exactly. Robert Smith. Will Arkansas take Gus Malzahn? We're gonna say this together, y'all. One, two, three. Hell no.
Maybe.
Hell
No.
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 He didn't played us enough. Him and Jimmy
Yeah,
Sexton didn't
yeah.
played us enough, and they keep getting to the bag and they keeping them jobs. Y'all didn't see
You
KJ
might
this
hear the
weekend.
name again though. Just be prepared.
We talked. I remember we talked about it. Y'all didn't see KJ this weekend, did you?
Mm-mm.
He
What'd he
did his.
do?
He did his thing. They
Didn't he have
came
like
back.
3 touchdowns or something? Had the game
Yeah,
winning
yeah, yeah,
touchdown or something.
yeah. He did some heroics. He did his thing. I hope he does
Superman.
well down there. Something like that.
Mm.
Texas A&M goal line. That shit. Anyway, Kyle Mott said, think about it for a minute. We have had exceptional OC and DC, except for last year.
Mm-hmm.
With Enos, I am a fan of getting great coordinators and head coach. It's just a guy that has to answer stuff when it goes south. Sounds like the country and the government. Anyway,
Hey, now.
Jay Johnson, Jay Johnson, wishful thinking, absolutely. Where Urban at? Logan, dog. I
Mm.
don't know. I don't know if Arkansas got what it takes to say, "Hey, Urban Meyer, come on back with all the shenanigans you done got away with in the past." I don't think we did with them people. He started at Utah, so Arkansas isn't much different. Hell, Utah looking better than Arkansas right now, no doubt about it. Logan said he's concerned about everything. Jay said defensive line, quarterback on accuracy, and decision making in pressure situations. Talked about the Auburn points. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
then William Brown. This is the point I seen I want to come to. I honestly think Blackstock is out of position. I definitely agree with you. I definitely agree with you
I could.
because when you see the defense end come around the corner and he dip his shoulder, it's Blackstock chasing him. It's week in and week out.
Mm-hmm.
It's week in and week out, and nobody's talking about it yet. But you brought up a great point in that, Mr. Brown. I definitely agree with that. My partner said, Urban, hell yeah, he brought Petrino back. We brought Petrino back. Why not Urban Meyer? I guess, man. Like I said,
Mm.
whoever they bring back when the time comes, just make sure you're writing checks so we can get the players.
How about
Shannon said,
dysfunctional Urban
Man,
Meyer has a dysfunctional locker room.
hey, but he was smooth with it. Shannon says the D line is not getting pressure on the QB. Secondary looking like Swiss cheese. Receivers dropping balls. Gotcha. Ryan, we have essentially a one-dimensional team. If you stop the run game and rush Taylor Green, then we lose. If you see the opposite coach, if we can see it, the opposing coach can definitely see it. Definitely agree with that. Kyle, one more biggest concern is how many face mask penalties did we have this last game? Felt like we were going to a high school for big hits, going too high for big hits and not just tackles. Hope Dion goes to Florida before Jerry makes us hire him. Hell no, because he ain't won nothing. And I like Prime. He just ain't did shit. He ain't proved nothing to me as a coach. So all the
He's leaving
antics,
once his kids are gone anyway.
and that's fine too. That's fine too. I do want to say something, Mr. Reese. You read my mind. Before we get out of here, because we run a little long, Mr. Reese brought this comment, and are you okay, Adam?
Huh?
You being childish again?
That's what I was trying to go to like 15 minutes ago.
All right. What about the post Jared's writing Joe Adams' wives posted about the past Hogs being blocked from the locker room? Go ahead, Adam.
So, well, I was going to play a little video and then us go into it. I had a whole thing worked up, and you just
Do it. Do it. Do your thing.
Do your damn thing.
What is this? A center for ants.
All right, that's it.
Just a brief reminder.
Anyway,
Just a brief reminder. Make sure to subscribe to get notifications. Go ahead, dog.
all right. So this was brought up over a year ago. I know it's been talked about in the past in other places, but we had the privilege of having Harold Harris on this show a year ago, and we have been discussing or throwing jabs, throwing comments, this, that, and the other multiple times over the last year that this has been an issue that former players, there's a disconnect between them and the football team or the football program. And from what I've read in the last couple of days or since yesterday, really, the disconnect wasn't really there under Bielema, or at least it wasn't talked about. Wasn't even under Chad Morris, that it's happened more recently. So we can backtrack to 2020. Peyton Hillis did an interview, and in that he talked about how like he's never been contacted to come back. I know that maybe some of that. I'm not saying he was bitter. I'm not saying he was salty, but at that point in time in the same interview, he talked about like he had applied for a number of positions within the team, whether it was an analyst, whether it was recruiting, whether it was whatever. He just wanted to be a part of the team because he feels, and other players do too, that to be successful at Arkansas, you need to have Arkansas guys around you and people that know and people that understand. I agree with that. Yeah, exactly. They care. But we've heard it from, like with Harold Harris, going back from, we're talking 2000 for him. Like he's had a lot longer time that, this not being invited back unless there's special events or whatever. This is on Jarius Wright's wife's post. There was DeMarcus Love and some others commenting like, yep, it's been the same thing. It's been the same thing. And now I know in the BOAS article, Best of Arkansas Sports, they had reached out to a number of players. And I mean, flip side, there was Sam Olajubutu that said that he's never been asked, but when he's came up there, which has been summer practices, he called beforehand, and that was that. So I think there's just some disconnect, and I think this is an issue on both sides, that the program needs to put something in place for former players, whether it's contact, reach out, an email, they can reach out, whatever. There needs to be some relationship there. At the same time, I don't think that former players should just be expected or to think that it's okay to just walk in at any point in time. Is there protocols in place after a game that's players, coaches, and invited guests only? When I say invited guests, I really mean in-house media like Hogs Plus. that capture the locker room celebrations and all that content. From what I've gathered, yeah. So especially after a game that you struggled to win, maybe they didn't want guests in there. You know, that's another way to look at it. But at the same time, yeah, we've heard for years that there's a disconnect between the football program and former players. So we know that that is an issue. They need to get it resolved and bring back the players in some capacity. We see it with Texas, Miami, Michigan, Ohio State, a number of other schools. You see the former players down on the field, on the sidelines, close by. Start letting these guys be involved. Stop making it just because you have some special hog call before the game. I mean, it's one of those things that these guys want to be a part of it, so let them be it. Who's best to talk to these players about what it's like to play for this team in this state than guys who have done it? Flip side, I'm going to go after, and not really go after, but another former player wanted to retweet the article, and he's been saying this for years, and he's never been invited back. If you opt out of your season like this player did in 2020, you quit your team, why would you be asked to come back? Rakeem Boyd was all about, this has been happening for years. I've not been asked back. I'm not this, I'm not that. You played 7 games in 2020, and then you opted out to get ready for the NFL draft. If you transfer or you opt out and you quit your team, why should you deserve to be invited back? And that's just where I stand on the whole, like, you left the team, you left them high and dry. But there's an ongoing issue, especially, this comes out the same week that we saw all the former basketball players, all these, coming back to see Coach Cal, coming back for the fantasy event. So it's one of those things that it sucks to see, especially when you've got another program who's welcoming everybody back.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Makes
then
sense.
you turn around and you look and you got Calipari. It's got Todd Day, Joe Klein, Joe Johnson, Kareem Reed, all the old greats hanging out with him for events. I don't know if this position exists or not, but if it doesn't, let's create one. Director of Alumni Relations.
Harold
And
Harris needs to be looked at for that job.
Yes. Hire Harold
Harris. You need to
go
after, talk to these players that have had this issue and have talked about it openly.
Right.
And
figure that out with them. And
charging them money and crap like that, they helped build that stadium. And I don't understand. I feel like them trying to get money is another way to trying to get money for the foundation, if you will, from the players. And it just doesn't make any sense to me why you would want to do that. I guess they're thinking that a lot of them are NFL players and stuff like that. They're going to have a lot of money. They're going to give money whether they want to or not.
Right.
You should be inviting them back. And yes, there should be some type of protocol. You email, you call, set up an appointment or some type of, some formality there to let them know. Yes, you shouldn't just buy a ticket and then show up and say, hey, I want to, I'm so-and-so, I want to come in. No, I understand that part. But the relationship has got to be fixed. I completely agree. We've said it many times. Hell, we've been talking about this since we've been doing this show about that. Mm-hmm. That we need to get them there, and they need to get as many as they can. Have them talk to the players. I mean, what if we think about it? When we were losing with Bielema, had the 17-game losing streak, he ended up bringing in David Basil, to talk about the boot and the history and everything else. And it seemed like he's the one that got him fired up because he told him, I don't want one I want all you to go get your ass over there and grab the boot. And that's what they all did.
And that's what they did.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I'm going to respect an old player,
Right.
And here's one thing I want to step on. Players, coaches don't seem to do as well as hard-nosed coaches, kind of like Saban and Kirby Smart, people like that, the ones that don't really put up with stuff, but ones that are kind of all shucks and we'll figure it out and stuff, they just don't seem to do as well. The players like them, but they don't fear them or respect them as much. And I think that's something that needs to be thought of.
Great points by both of you gentlemen. This comment by Mr. William Brown. He said, perfect job for David Basil. Get him off the radio. No, but talking to Harold Harris, like that's something that he had been talking about for a while. I think he reached out to somebody who was actually in that role because he works in the school system in Northwest
Hmm.
Arkansas. So it just makes sense to be somewhat of a mentor, somebody who is from the state, proud to be a Razorback, wore it on his
Mm-hmm.
back, and has that experience. I also look at it from a standpoint when I used to watch Miami, the U. Like there's a long tradition of players who went to the NFL. It was a standard that was set. It was like, if I'm a wide receiver, Michael Irvin is the standard. I got to get to that level, right? And it also was another avenue to where players who had prosperous careers in the NFL could come back and talk to these guys and say, look, in order to get to the NFL, this is what you need, right? Be able to study the playbook, be a great teammate. You know what I'm saying? Work well in the weight room. You know what I'm saying? Make connections while you're in college. These are
Mm-hmm.
things that these guys need to get to the next level. So it's just amazing to me that they don't have access to all the resources and people who have actually done it. And that's why one of the reasons we talked about the receiver that came back, the 29-year-old receiver, in regards to his experience being a professional and how that may impact the locker room
Mm-hmm.
this year. So there's a lot of great points to that. I do want to end with Mr. Reese's comments. I definitely seen this and I want to touch on it. We had a culture. We need that once a hog, forever a hog. The players we have had recruited in the last several years have lacked that. I want to be a hog mentality and loyalty. You need the ones that have that fire and live for the school and state. Absolutely. And she's also said when they announced Matt Jones, the crowd went loud. It was loud. Said we need that back. We absolutely need that back. We do need that back, man. People remember that. And like I say, for somebody to have pride to say that I'm from the state and I want to go here as opposed to going outside of the state. Or somebody like Kareem Reed said in his he was like, I'm a kid from Arkansas. He was like, I'm not even from Arkansas. I'm from
Oh
New
yeah.
York. Right? At the same time, he was just like, the state has embraced me, and I've embraced the state. It's a part of me. So people like that, we definitely need to be around a program. It just brings about a certain type of pride and culture that we do need. That's been missing for a while. As William
Mm-hmm.
Brown said in his comment, embrace the hog. We say that, but what does that really mean? We're talking about a former player who really embraced the hog and say, years later, I'm in a professional career outside of sports, and I still care about this team and about this state. I want to be a part of it. You got to let them do what they got to do and be a part of the organization. So I think it does wonders for people to listen to stories. We all grew up listening to our grandparents tell stories. And now that we're adults, we look back at that and say, man, that just meant so much to us for you to sit down with us and talk about what it was like when you was my age and when you went through certain things. So I think it's a similar transition, and we definitely need that. So hopefully someone can get on board with that and make that happen. Adam, you got anything before we get up out of here, sir?
No, I'm tired.
Good. Hart, you got anything to drop?
Nothing this week.
All right. I guess once these games get over with, we will update the hog pick'em.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure I'm
I'll
leading.
probably still be tied for first, but
Okay. Tied with who?
Well, it depends on. So if you want me to do your basic rundown, who's winning right now? I don't even have it pulled up.
You was winning.
You.
Y'all
No,
won.
the actual game, Texans.
Oh, it's 16. Yeah.
So if the Texans win tonight and who plays tomorrow?
Eagles.
And the Eagles win
Falcons.
tomorrow,
Eagles
that would mean Porter would go 7 for 7 this weekend, and he would tie with me for first.
So that means I'm not.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a scam. Got you. Look, at the end of the day, the day gonna end, and so will this show. We thank you guys once again for joining us for another great Sunday of Hog HQ Live, brought to you by the Hog Talk Podcast. Once again, you got Adam over here and Mr. Hart over here. We thank you guys so much for your support, joining us on Facebook, on YouTube, and on X. Once again, we sent a little notification in the middle. Make sure you go subscribe, get notifications, click that bell. So when we go live, you know exactly when we are live. We're still looking for sponsors. We'll never forget that. Once again, if you got a small business, big business, who want to be a part of this organization, we can definitely tap you into some people and get you some advertising. Mr. Reese said, "Go Chiefs." I don't know how they won that game today, but they did what they had to do. And when the pass interference happened, I was looking like they get the Tom Brady treatment, but it was a legit. That dude got
It
that
was
too early for a
legit.
back. Yeah, so I can't be mad at that. Anyhow, once again, we thank you guys for supporting us and everything that you guys do. you in these comments back and forth. Logan, thank you for calling in tonight. Definitely means a lot to hear you guys' voices and read your comments. Thank you for all that you do. With that being said, we are out of here. Peace. Good night. Have a great week. Catch you next time. Oh.